as we begin the new month with as we begin
Then we can't hear Frederick.
He's not even here. He has taken off.
Maybe network issues or something.
Training requires some very serious preparation.
Mm-hmm.
You know that?
Yeah, true.
Let me call him. Yes, you know you are not online.
So can you see my screen once more? Hello? Hello? Hello, class? Can you see my class?
Yes.
Hello, can you see my screen? Sorry. Susan,
Yes.
you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I had just, sorry for that.
Fred,
Yeah.
there is
Yes.
nothing. What we are seeing,
Uh-huh.
we are only seeing your files. We can't see the presentation. Can you open the presentation?
Okay, and let me see.
And what you need to do is open the presentation beforehand.
Yes, I have opened it.
So that it goes to the taskbar. Then when you are sharing, you share what is the taskbar.
Okay. You can see it now. Has it come now?
Yes, then do this, the slideshow from the
Okay.
beginning.
Okay.
From the beginning there.
No,
Good.
we are back now.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to, and sorry for that, to thank Mr. Den, whom we've connected, and he has given me a great topic, creating great workplace attitude through positivity. With the new maybe before we move on, I will say whom I am. I'm Frederick Kamande, counseling psychologist. I cut across many areas. That is addiction. I also major in marriage and family. I'm also in loss and grief. I'm also a student, and also I'm a lecturer at Tangaza University College, but I also do private practice in counseling. And one of our strengths is accompanying also people who have had challenges with addiction, and maybe they have gone for rehabilitation, or what we are calling it nowadays, treatment centers. And when they come back from the treatment centers, they need support. That's an area that me and the colleagues that I work with, we want it to be part of our strength. The other thing is also corporate trainings in terms of communication in workplaces, and then a major dynamic that may involve employees, like how do we manage stress, how do we help staff balance between work and family. That's also an area that I have a great concern with. However, today, the area that I want to take you through is about positivity, which helps in creating greater workplaces attitude. And I believe that you as human resource managers, officers, what you want to see at your place of work is not just somebody who is a worker or a staff and they have skills. What you want to see is somebody who also really derive a lot of satisfaction in the work they do, because individuals can come at work and even trained well, but if they don't have the love of the job or the work they do, they can be reduced or almost to a very limited degree of working. So let's ask ourselves, maybe what's an attitude? When you talk of attitude, what comes into our mind? Attitude. I know, given that you interact with your staff, I believe you encourage them by telling them, well, guys or ladies, attitude is everything. So what's attitude? Because we also need to understand what it is all about, so that even when we are engaging our employees, we can help them to reach to what you expect. And attitude then would be looked into as a position that one has mentally. It is in the mind, and basically it would involve the way one think, and in consequence, how you think also touches on your feeling. Yeah, what you think touch on your feeling, and the feeling is in the heart. Then the thinking and the feeling then. Yes, let's mute our mic. Kindly. So it touches on our behavior. That's when now we talk about being. Yeah. So thinking, feeling, then touch on our being, which is simply behavior. There is this guy by name Winston Churchill, who wrote a book on positivity, and he dwelt much on actually on behavior. And he would also say, I would also agree with what we have here on the screen, that it's upon an individual's choices that also determine how you think, how you feel, which constitutes attitude, and consequently, how one would behave. So attitude is quite important because it makes a whole difference on how an individual would be even a whole day. Let's assume if somebody just wakes up feeling bad about themselves, that is likely to determine how their day will be, and not just their day, because a day is not just a shell of a thing, but a day in the sense that how he or she interacts with the people. And that's why what you find on the screen about Winston Churchill, who was at one time during the Second War was the Prime Minister of Great Britain. He would say attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. It can make a big difference positively, but also it can make a big difference negatively. Ours, as people relating with other staffs or managing staff well-being, our worry would be when this attitude is skewed toward negativity, because that is likely to affect an employee or a staff productivity. Yeah. So the other thing that maybe we need to look into when we are also considering attitude is how sometimes initially how can it come about, especially when one has just woken up. And we go with what this William James, an American psychologist and philosopher, say that whenever an individual is in conflict with someone, there is one factor that can make the difference between damaging the relationship and deepening it. And that factor is nothing else but attitude. So, my dear audience, attitude is vital. I thought of also trying to look at various types of attitude, which we consider in psychology as reactive attitude. One, attitude we can have at one level, personal reactive. And what is this? These are attitude regarding others' treatments of yourself. Like how does an individual look at himself or herself whenever there is any conflict? Yeah. How do others how do others affect maybe me when I'm at a place of my work? Yeah, that is very, very important, because if somebody, if an individual has very little inner skills, what others do can really affect them. Then there is what we call vicarious reactive. These are attitudes regarding others' treatment of others. What do I say? Maybe how one is reacted at can also provoke how he is going to react to other people. Or if I may put it differently, let's say you as a staff, you as a human resource manager, is affected by other people's stories, because it would, because we are not made of stone or iron or wood. Sometimes other people's stories may affect us. So we may have this aspect or dimension of vicarious reactive, and maybe that can also affect how one is going to relate with other people during the day. The other dimension of reactive attitude is attitudes regarding your own treatment of others and yourself. What am I saying here? How an individual treat himself. If an individual is too negative, let me pick that, because that negativity is what we want to reduce at our places of work. That's what she or he is going to sell to other people. And this, for sure, it can be quite challenging. And that's why we as psychologists say, can we try to groom ourselves emotionally so that what we put across others does not affect them so much. And let's assume an individual, your staff has had challenges, maybe back at home in their family setup. They need to be aware about that, because how they are treating themselves can pour over toward other people. And that's why sometimes we advise, if somebody is going through challenging moments, sometimes it's good to take a day off, so that what they are going through, especially when it's negative, they can have time to focus on it, maybe outside of work, and maybe a day off can help. However, also, because we want people who are productive, also people need to be taught about skills, the inner skills on how to handle themselves even when they are facing challenges in their life, so that they can go beyond their own experiences and have that self-awareness on how it is affecting them, so that they are careful not to allow it to spill over others. Yeah. An example I have in mind is, let's say somebody has had a bad weekend. They have had quarrels. It's good an individual be aware of that, so that when she or he comes at the place of work, they can be able not to allow, to make a choice not to allow it to spill over to other staffs. Because as we shall see later, both negative and positive attitudes, they are infectious. They're infectious. And that's why I believe Dan and others are so much concerned about creating this positivity. So what are some of the components, or what are the components of attitude? The components of attitude. One, we talk of cognition. And when we talk of cognition, it appears a big word, but we're simply just talking about the mind and the thoughts that flow from that. If somebody wakes up or comes to job thinking that their job is not good, the whole thing is in the mind. Yeah, the whole thing is in the mind. Maybe ours as a human resource manager is to help them know that it's good also to do what we call control of your mind, and also from your mind, make sure that you see things quite positively. Because if there are negative cognitions, we can measure if there are negative cognition, that gentleman is going to see their jobs in a positive way. The other thing that we also need to consider is affect. And affect touches on three things. One, it touches on emotions. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they low? It also touches on feeling. How are they feeling as individuals? Are they in touch with their own feelings? Because the challenge is not whether one is angry. No, the challenge is, are you in touch? The other thing has to do with the moods when we talk of affect. Affect constitutes the feelings, emotion, and mood. We cannot eliminate feelings in our lives, because that's what actually makes us. Feeling is a bit, it's part and parcel of who we are. So what is important when we come to feelings is, are individuals aware of them? Is this staff aware of how they are feeling? Because only when you are aware, you can be able to manage that feeling. Otherwise, one will just become reactive. Yeah, people are just feeling or experiencing their own feelings. So awareness of the affect, that is emotions, feelings, and moods, is also important. I'm aware that I'm not feeling happy today. I'm aware of where this is coming from. So at my place of work, I will be able now not to allow this to be contagious or infectious to the people that I'm working with. I earlier said cognition and affections now touches on behavior. Behavior simply means what people can observe, what people can see. And one cannot deny what others are seeing. Yeah. So this behavior can be seen through either actions or reactions. Yeah. The example, I'll go to work early with a smile on my face. And this is going to affect how I will relate with other people. Because actually, if you smile, people will always smile back. Yeah. Then how do I intend to act? Possibly, as the example I gave, maybe I have not had a very nice weekend, but how will I act? You make it intentional to do something positively. It's a choice that an individual is making. So how are attitudes formed? How are attitudes formed? You said attitude is everything. That's true. Actually, that's what I tell my students. Attitude is everything. If one comes feeling like they are nothing, that's what their day will be. If a staff comes thinking that this job is not interesting, even the manner in which they are going to do it will be determined by the attitude they have. So attitudes are learned. Attitudes are learned. In short, what am I trying to say? Attitudes are not inherited. You cannot say, I have inherited to be sad all through. No, it's not inherited. It's not inherited. maybe what we can say is the temperaments individuals have sometimes may have great influence on their own attitudes. Yeah, and when we talk of temperament, we are talking about being sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and supine. Yeah. So these are maybe those like if you are this kind of a Barbie person, it's very easy to develop a lot of positivity. But if you are a melancholic, again also the tendency to maintain low moods can also be very natural. However, attitudes are not inherited from anyone. You cannot say I have inherited this from my mother. No, that's not possible. Attitudes again are the outward manifestation of your inner values and beliefs. And when you talk of inner values, values are learned. When individuals get employed to your organization, they learn the values of that organization. They also learn what beliefs that are enshrined in your organization or corporate. So they are also coming with the values from their families. They are also coming with the beliefs from their families, especially the family of origin, meaning where we were born. Now they are likely to have moved also to their nuclear family, or yeah, they also have values. So how do these values influence your own attitudes? They do. Values and beliefs influence attitudes. Yeah. How? Let's assume we value other people. We value other human beings, regardless of where they come from. So this would influence how the attitude on how you relate with them. Then also, what are your underlying beliefs about work? Is work a punishment or is work a fulfillment? If one carries the attitude that work is a punishment, they're likely always to be kind of like pushed to go and do it. It's like you are pulling them to do it. Yet they are earning, they are happy when they receive their pay, but the attitude they have of work or the belief they have of work is quite distorted. Mostly, and it's good that individuals know, people don't just work for money. I have seen people even volunteering to go and work because there is something greater than money in life. And this, I would like you initiate. It's good you initiate this. People work for fulfillment. Yeah, people work for fulfillment. That when I'm working, am I getting am I achieving the satisfaction? Work should bring satisfaction in life, and that's why we get a lot of frustration. Individuals get a lot of frustration when they are trained. They have the various professional degrees, but they don't have work. Why? Because they are not getting fulfilled. So ideally, work should bring some satisfaction and also fulfillment. Then also, since attitude are learned, then it's important to encourage individuals to observe who are the significant people around them, how they behave. And from here, one can learn from others what is being cherished, in example, in our organization. What can I learn from my fellow employees? And from this, then individuals can come with what we consider as a value system in an organization. That in our organization, we value honesty. So you want individuals to have that attitude of valuing honesty and be truthful. Is this something that is within our value system? Then when people are honest at the place of work, then they impress a given attitude, like it's within their value system. It's good that here we value truthfulness. We value hard work. Then how does that impress on an individual's attitude? That is quite important. Any questions so far? Any concern? Good. We can move on. Because when we are talking about attitudes, and I had mentioned it in the past, we do not just want a busybody at our place of work, yeah, but we want individuals who have an attitude that makes them value, cherish their work, and from there then they derive meaning. Yeah, because when individuals have attitudes that do not make them cherish what they do, then their work will be hollow. There will be no meaning. And so individuals can just be coming at work out of routine, which is dangerous. Or sadly, individuals can be coming to work because they know at the end of the day or at the end of the month, they run a package. That's a bad attitude and long motivation. So individuals have to cherish what they do. They have to love what they do. They have to be devoted to what they do. And this now should color their whole attitude, or their outlook of life and work. So, what are some of the functions of attitude then? One, attitude helps in adjustment. Attitude helps in adjustment. And how? When anybody, even me as I was coming to engage you on the screen, on this Zoom, I didn't know you. I have met Dan over the phone. We've interacted through WhatsApp. I don't know him. So there was some little bit of anxiety. It's normal to have anxieties. So attitude then helps you to learn how to adjust to new places, new people. And what is this adjustment all about? You are observing, you are open to learning, which is an attitude. You are also learning also to be sensitive, because at the place of work, you are not the only one. There are other colleagues. So with adjustment, you also learn how to cope. And your outlook of life when you are mingling with other people is not the only one. You are also meeting people with various worldviews, various beliefs. And so with the right attitude, then you run the need of adjusting to this environment. And this helps in how to behave. How do I behave when I meet so and so? Is it also clear to me, also at the place of work, there are various levels, there are various positions, that's what I mean. How do you relate with this authority at your place of work? Yeah, like let's assume an individual has an attitude of arrogance, because nowadays we are facing, and it's good to be aware as the human resource personnel. Nowadays, what we call family formations of children is not so much well grounded. And individuals are growing through primary school, high school, university, and eventually they run into the job market. So they are not, they could be lacking something maybe in their formation of person. So when this individual comes, maybe he comes from a family where, or a society, because we are products of our own environment. She or he comes from a place where there are arrogant people. And maybe they have very little sense of authority, maybe negative. You need to help these individuals learn that then they need to learn new ways of living, which are also acceptable in the society. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because you don't want to lose a good employee because of their attitudes. So let them learn how to cope. They cope and also be open to learn new things. The other thing that helps in attitude is at the level of knowledge. Yeah. And what does knowledge do? Knowledge gives us information. Knowledge gives us theories. Knowledge gives us skills. Knowledge also helps us to appropriate all that which I have said. So this individual that is working at your organization, can he has, or rather can she or he be helped to develop an attitude that desires to know? Are they ready to learn? And how does this knowledge help them perceive the surroundings? How do they perceive the environment they are in? Who are they in that environment? Because they are an individual, but an individual who is interacting with other people. It's not an individual who is just alone. Are they aware of their own freedoms as individuals? Do they know that there is where their freedom begins, and there is also where their freedom ends? Yeah. Yeah. So another thing that we need to, or rather that helps, or rather where attitude helps, it helps in ego defense. And ego is very, very important, because ego touches on who we are. There are these individuals with the very sensitive egos. Yeah, can they be able to have a positive attitude that helps them not be so sensitive also? Yeah. Not always in the defensive. Can their egos be helped, or rather, can their attitudes make so that their egos can be extended in the sense that they can allow to have new knowledge that they didn't have? Yeah. so that they can maintain their own personal dignity and self-image. However, on the issue of ego defensiveness, are these individuals also ready to be informed, to be given knowledge, so that they also don't become so defensive that even their bosses, who are their employers, they are afraid to be near them? So in short, what am I trying to say here? Can we also try to help these individuals not to become independent of who they are? And especially when they have issues on their images, which touches on self-worth. Who is this person? Are you aware? Is this individual aware of who he is? Yeah. Is this individual aware of who he is? And if he is aware of who he is, how comfortable with what he is? And that's why sometimes when individuals have challenges, as human resource managers and or a personnel, it's good sometimes out of goodwill. You can help individuals make an exercise of trying to explore who they are. Are they aware of who they are? Because once you are aware of who you are, it's easy to mingle with others. It's easy to give away some of the attitude, especially when they're negative. Yeah. Then the other thing is value expressive. Yeah. Individuals, or rather, we can have a danger of having individuals who are yes, 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 yes person. As I had said sometimes earlier, we come with our own values from our families, especially the family of origin, how we are brought up. That family gave us some of the values. It gave us what is right and wrong. They also taught us social skills. And also our family taught us to be human beings. Though I'm saying nowadays we do not need to assume, because human being is not just a physical person, but also the kind of a person who is coming from the physical being we are seeing. And I believe you can tell me a lot if you are to interact the kind of the challenges you meet at place of work as regards the individuals, the human the human person who is coming. So in short, what you're trying to say, can this individual learn how to say no when they feel like there is maybe negative influence from other people? Can they be able to say no from peer influence? What am I trying to say is, do they have their own values? Value expressed. Do they have their own values? Or how can we strengthen them to become individuals who have, or rather, individuals who are sure of who they are? Because also you don't want, as the human resource person, you don't want individuals who cannot say no, who can easily be swayed even for the wrong reasons. So yeah, so these individuals learn how to be value expressive, and that's where the attitudes need to touch on. Yeah. So now we come to positive attitude. So a story is told, and that's what we have in that picture, of what people would say of that glass. Individuals who are optimistic, whom a positive attitude is bubbling within them, they would see that glass of water and say, it is half full. It is half full. However, if we have individuals with a pessimistic attitude, other than seeing that the grasses are full, they will say the grass is half empty. That actually says so much about the individual that the optimistic will say, well, it's half full, meaning there's something. But a pessimist would see what is lacking. It's half empty. So what is positive attitude? You said earlier that attitude is a state of mind or being. By being our thought processes, being behavior. So positive attitude is a state of mind that is what is well worth developing and strengthening. We don't need negative people so much around us. And when we have so many of them around us, we need to ask ourselves what needs to be done to help these individuals to become what we expect for our organization. So this positivity touches on the mind, thoughts, the words people use, and also the expressive images they show. And these mind thoughts, these words and images have to bring about growth. For there has to be that conducive environment that bring growth, expansion, and success. And when there is these elements in an individual, then they will be transferred to the organization. The opposite is when this lack, when this positivity lack, there will be negative thoughts, there will be negative words, like this organization is not helping us, yet the organization and individual is saying that it's not helping them, is where they are running from. Or maybe if they have negative images about the organization, yet is what is giving them the daily bread. So if there is negativity, this negativity is likely to go into the organization. And that's why in this training, the emphasis is, can we try to bring about positive mind, positive expressions of thoughts, positive words, and also positive images of who they are and who the organization they are working is. So some individuals also, if we have to develop negative, positive opportunities, then individuals have to be seeing even in difficult places, opportunities. Yeah, it's with the right attitude, which is positive. Even when one is faced with a negativity, they ask, what can I do to change what I'm already experiencing here? Let's say rights have gone off. Internet consequently means that internet being supplied by the organization has also gone off. But there's still a task to be done here that requires the use of internet. An individual, one who sees an opportunity, or rather they still need to work, they will be quick to plug their phones to their laptops and continue working. Others who are negative and they are seeing difficulties in this experience of loss of electricity and consequently loss of Wi-Fi, they would be negative and they would walk around. Yes, they have nice phones that they can plug to their computers or personal laptops and work, but eventually some won't. Yeah, some won't. Yeah. So these positivity in attitude can help people turn what are challenges to opportunities to thrive. And I think that's what we need to develop at our workplaces. So again, how do they see this meeting? Let's say you call a meeting. What is the meeting for? Do they see it as boring? Do they see it as a place where individuals can exchange ideas? How do we look at it? That is quite important. Yeah. So mostly, other than seeing meetings as so boring, individuals with a positive attitude, you still see it exciting because it has become an arena when every individual is being asked for their ideas and what they think can improve their well-being and wellness at the corporate, and consequently how this wellness is going to make the organization great again. So here, positive attitude is quite important. Yeah. So we want individuals who sees things from the positive side, even when it is negative. We are having negative experiences. Yeah, and I believe this at times has been expressed, like when we had the challenge of Corona, people could easily work from home. So yeah, that's where we find ourselves. So I ask, we have like 5 minutes break, then we get back again. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
George, meeting in the dialogue, I don't think.
So can we move on? Hello?
This is fine.
We can move on, eh?
Yeah.
So, attitude touches again also on how an individual views himself. And I know you have conducted interviews. One individual already, he is very qualified, or both of them are very qualified, but one has an attitude that makes it hard for him or her even to appropriately prepare for the interview. And like how one appears before the interview, it tells a lot about the attitudes they have. Maybe the poor me, nobody wants a poor me, no. You want somebody who is bouncing and full of energy and ready to work. Yeah. So the impression one creates is very, very, very important. I remember one day I had gone to defend my PhD proposal in South Africa, and I don't know whether it's their lifestyle. I had really dressed to what we call here in Kenya to kill. Umevaa kabisa. But the people who are in front of me, they were casually dressed, and I wondered, and they were my professors. So later I had to ask my supervisor what was happening here. And he told me, no, you are the one who was the guest. You are the one who had the challenge to dress well, not us. To us, we came to examine you. Anyway, I smiled about it. Yeah. So. So as I had said again earlier, at the places of work, then positive attitude is important. I said earlier that either negative or positive attitude, it's contagious. It's contagious. So we do not, I would say nobody wants people who are very negative toward in a certain environment. And again, because that is likely to be spread, not only just around one person, but it can spread all over. So positive attitude is what is supposed to be observed and experienced. Because that makes individuals happy. It makes them also have strong will, also freedom of expression, and also with them they carry ability to succeed. So why positive attitude? Why positive attitude? Positive attitude gives an individual strength to deal with the challenges. Challenges for sure will come. If an individual has so much negative energy, they cannot be able to go through challenging moments. Then when people are like that example I just gave about myself going to defend my proposal, the way I was dressed gave me a lot of confidence. So positivity that I had in myself gives me a lot of confidence, or rather it will give an individual a lot of confidence. And when people also have positive attitude, they have no room for failures. They create around them goodwill. Yeah. Other than seeing the grass as half empty, they see there's something there. It's half full. There is goodwill around. And when we have goodwill around because of the positive attitudes that we have or individuals have, then even if there are any small degrees of negativity, they can be counteracted by this goodwill coming from the positive attitude an individual has. And also, positive attitude opens ways of success. Because an example in that is you can give somebody can even be promoted and fellow staff are congratulating them. But since an individual has a negative attitude, he may be saying, I thought they could have given me something bigger than what I have. So because of their negativity, they're not even appreciating what they have already have, because it is a step from one area to another. So with this positivity, then if an individual has a higher role or they have gotten a higher role, they see in it a chance to increase success. So it's good also we remember then, my dear audience, that positive people see invisible things. They feel even where there seems to be nothing, they can see, they can feel something, they can touch something. There are possibilities here. And with the positive attitude, people can achieve what appears impossible. And what's the purpose of organizations anyway? A purpose of organizations, we need people who are dreamers, because it's out of their dreams they can realize or they can achieve that which is possible within their organizations. But negative people or negative attitude, which infects people, cannot be any helpful. So that's why time and again we keep on saying positive attitude is important. So what are some of the benefits of positive attitude? Any idea? Faith Mwende. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
You had asked something?
Yes, I have asked what are some of the benefits you think positive attitude?
Okay, to me as a person, I think it increases productivity, because if you have a positive mind, you are able to deliver.
Yeah,
That
it
results
increases
into
productivity.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Cheche. What are some of the benefits of positive attitude? Jean, it's French name, or Jean. What do you think benefits of positive attitude?
I would say that having a positive attitude will definitely deliver you out of can I say many factors that are surrounding your productivity, your growth, you as a person, you as a team. We can look at it like if you have like for example, in an organization and there is change for whatsoever reason, then your attitude, if it's positive in the acceptance of the process, then definitely you can have like a real back in terms of outcome, and it can be positive for yourself and probably for the team, for the company itself. You can also look at it like having a positive attitude as a person. You know, in life, we have to have challenges. We all know that there are different seasons in life. So again, having a positive attitude will just be a fallback plan, knowing that this is just a season that I have to walk through it, and at the end of it comes good. So then again, that brings about how you deal with your attitude positively. So I guess it has more pros in terms of if you have a positive attitude over anything than it has the cons.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it has a myriad of benefits. It begins with you, then it opens other ways. It's like a positive mind. Whatever you touch works. Whatever an individual touches works, because innate it gives them a lot of energy. Thank you for the contributions. So think positive. I think that's important. Yeah. And positivity is not just words. Remember, we are talking about it is touching on our attitude. Yeah. Yeah. So there is power in positive thinking. Earlier on, we said that which you think cannot be done with the positive people, it is possible. It is going to happen because personally the individual is there. So it works. It will touch on various. It will actually impact on various aspects of their life, be it work, be it themselves as an individual, be it their relationships. It works. It works. But our concerns here is how do we bring about these positivities in our place of work? Yeah. And even in our relationship, because also when relationships are not so carried with a lot of positivities, again, we say there is that infection. It's infectious. We can bring the same to our place of work. So think positive. Wherever one is, as an individual, just think positive. Then it will work marvelous. So let's see this scenario of this lady by name Jane, who was looking for a position. And she was, one of the requirements is that she learns computer skills. But she went ahead and ran a spreadsheet software. Yeah. But even though she has not gotten a job, potentially this can assist her or will assist her the moment she gets the work of admin position. And fortunately for this person, she gets the job. She gets the job. Here, there is what drives me, and I think it also drives you. Nothing that you do that gets lost, it will serve you somewhere. And this is what we can say about the experience of Jane. In short, with the positivity, can our staff to be productive, if they think there is something that can propel them to become better workers, can people go for it? And any knowledge learned is not lost. It will help an individual somewhere. So whatever individuals tries, will work somewhere. So it's not lost. So some of the benefits of positive attitude would be, or there are 6. 1, positivity enhances inner power and strength. In psychology, we normally say, and I would like to educate you about this, about there is an organ in the brain known as hippocampus. Hippocampus is the organ that is responsible for our own memory. And research has shown that when there is so much negativity, that place, the hippocampus memory package is reduced. Negativity reduces to an extent that one cannot be able even to remember things that have just been done immediately, or even what they are planning to do immediately, they may not, because there is a lot of negativity. But when one has positivity, it will enhance inner power and strength. Inner power even in terms of memory, inner power in terms of enthusiasm, inner power in form of drives and motivation. They will have the strength for everything. But when we have negativity, then we can have a staff which is not so good. An example, we can have a staff that is just there. We do not want people to be just there. I have said time and again, we want individuals who are happy about what they are doing, they value their job, and from it, they are getting meaning from what they do. And from getting meaning of what they do, they gain what we call job satisfaction. Another benefit is that it gives ability to surmount to any challenge. There is nothing so big that it cannot be done. It's just like I said, when there is a challenge, people or an individual who is positively influenced or has a positive attitude will see opportunities. Or even if they don't see opportunities, they will be creative because they have the inner drive, they have the energy. They will be creative to look for alternatives. The other one is it gives ability to inspire and motivate others. People who are positive, they're the people who would be giving a pat on the shoulder. Hey, don't give up, man or lady. We still have to move on. Yeah, they are inspired themselves because of the positivity. Then they will motivate others with the power and the inner strength they have. And by this, then it would be helpful to the whole team to move on, to soldier on, even when there are challenges. So they are good motivators. They are full of inspiration, so they have the energy to motivate others. Positive attitude also creates goodwill, and people are respected for what they are. Individuals will easily identify and say, oh, hey, Tom has a lot of positivity in him. It can be observed because remember we say that positivity can also be done. It's part of being. It can be done. It can be seen in what individuals are being seen to be doing. Yeah. So then also, because of positivity, individuals with it, they will always experience happiness. Experience happiness. Not just momentarily or a fake happiness, but the happiness that is coming from the way they look at life, the way they see their engagement at place of work, and the way they see value in the interpersonal relationships at place of work. So they have that happiness, not just momentary happiness, a happiness that is there as a feeling and can move very fast. This is a kind of an inbuilt happiness because of the positivity attitude that individuals have. Then lastly, positivity as an attitude helps individual achieve goals and attain success. Remember, we said to an individual who is positive, they are like in that place of where Alice in Wonderland was, that whatever she touched became gold. It became gold. So the same thing happens here. Whatever a positive person touches, whoever they interact with, they make it possible to achieve goals. And in the process, there is a good interpersonal working relationship, which together, the individuals with the positivity can attain success. And success here is not just at the corporate level, but it will also spill over into other relationships, even at the family level. Yeah. So positivity is important. Yeah. And again, let's say people are hurting, as sometimes they would. We know we are a human community. Positivity brings some sort of healing. There is a healing power in positivity. Even that smile that is coming out of being positive, it will infect others. And even where people who are hurting, if they allow their hearts to melt, they will smile back and maybe laugh. And even it's also good sometimes also to laugh for the silly things that sometimes we happen to get into, so that at least we also don't carry so much burden in life. Yeah, so that at least we can be able to let go fast. So positive attitude is important, because when you are positive, there is no you are going to allow to hang on a negative for too long. You know, negativity is not going to take you anywhere. Yeah. So, what are some of the factors affecting attitude? What are they? This will be largely out. It's about environment. All of it touches on environment, because as we said earlier in the beginning, we said there is that attitude that is reactive, vicarious, that is attitude towards self. So it's about environment where people interacting, and also environments are changing. Like now, I believe with the COVID-19, many attitudes kept on shifting. They kept on shifting, and mostly that situation where people are not so sure about jobs, or even some lost jobs, that organization had no options, but even to downsize. Others even reduced the salaries because the market was low. There was little business happening. So all that is environment that was touching, or had been touching. Even now, we are not yet out of the woods yet, but at least we are struggling. But at least now, nowadays, we are somewhere. So the main factors, or the main factor, goes around the environment. So environment is also key, and as a human resource personnel and managers, we need to develop attitudes, not attitude actually, ways or knowledge and skills to diffuse negative work environment. We have to have some surprises at the place of work. on how to diffuse this, because we don't want it negativity, because sometimes negativity may visit us. We don't want it to stay for too long. Like we can surprise our workers by telling, oh, can we have a common tea together as we chat and laugh about what's happening around here. Yeah. Let me go to it to detail by detail. Any concern regarding that, about factors affecting attitudes? So, what is this changing environment? In philosophy, we say change is happening now and then. And the only people who survive when there is change, it's people who are also ready to move with it. Because the only thing philosophy tells us that does not change is change itself. Then Einstein, the guy who came with relativity theory, he says, if we keep on doing things the same way we've been doing it, if we have various attitudes now and then, same attitude all the time, Einstein would say we are insane, because only an insane person does the things the same way, expecting results. Hello? What are we saying here? Or what am I saying? We have also to learn how to change, because we are human beings and we are ever growing. There is a room for growth. Actually, I hear you people in management saying that we are always projects in progress. We are projects in progress, meaning there is a room to grow. So then, if we have an environment that is not maybe so suitable, people have to learn how to change with it, not for the worst. We don't want to go to the river, but for something positive. Yeah. And in short, what are we saying here? Are we ready to change our own attitudes? Are we ready to challenge the way we've been thinking or feeling or seeing other people? Are we ready also at a time to alter the way we think? Because also research has shown that at times we are addicted to our own way of thinking. Things the same way, the way you are seeing the way you've been seeing them 10 years ago, is it the same way you are seeing them today? Is it the same way one wants to interact? What can we alter this change? What we need to change in the way we think, so as to maintain or to come out with a better attitude? Is change easy within our environment of work? Can we also be able to persist with the difficulties at a given time and still also have the ability of resilience or coming back? Because places of work at this time can also be stressful. How do we manage this stress? How do we need to brace ourselves for it? Not in a form of a fight, but in a form of welcoming the changes. There is what we call in the mind the schema. What's a schema? A schema is where we have an idea that there are way things are supposed to be. And for sure, they are very predictable. But we also learn there are things that also surprises us in life. When you get surprised, can you expand your schema in your mind to accommodate this new knowledge you have so that you continue with the right attitude? Yeah. Otherwise, if this does not happen, believe me, individuals can be experiencing what we call salient stress, stress that they are not able to see, but eventually others will be able to observe it. Yeah. So what need to change? Yeah. Can you also accept that at the workplace, environments keep on changing? It's an ongoing process. Can we help individuals also to have that attitude that is open to that? That also changes are always coming. You can be used to sit at a certain corner of the office, then there come an order that you move out from that place, you go and occupy another place. Is it possible? Especially those people who work in open offices. It's good people not to have, not to be allowed to stick on one corner or one place for so long. It's good also to encourage people to keep on changing also, that you can work from a different part of the office. Yeah. Yeah. So that at least people also don't become attached. They have an open attitude there. Yeah. Other things that affect our own attitudes are past experiences. And here we have what we call, or rather we describe as things that have happened in the past. And in the past can be as far as yesterday or an hour ago. That is considered a past. Yeah. How is that past that has happened affecting your present moment? Maybe it was a conflict. That conflict that happened an hour ago, it messed up maybe with part of how you look at life, being attitude, and now it's affecting your behavior. For how long are you going to hold on it? Is it enhancing you, what you are holding on, or hindering you, or inhibiting you? That's what individuals need to be helped to understand, because sometimes past experiences can inhibit. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I go back to the environment again, because a past can be an environment. Are you ready to change? Or are you ready to behave differently? Are you ready to think differently? Are you ready to feel differently? Or you still want to hold in the past? Yeah. Where are you? That's important for the staff. Because if people hold into what had happened in the past, believe me, then that will carry on. And you said attitude are infectious, especially when it's negative. It can infect the whole teamwork. And by the way, also teamwork is an attitude. Actually, me when if I'm teaching within 1 year, I may teach various classes. If I give an individual paper this semester, I make sure if I meet with that class another time, I will give them a group paper. Reasons being, I want to develop individuals who can also work with others. So, yeah, because we've been raised up in a world whereby the emphasis is the individual. Can also these individuals be held to learn to work how as a team? That's why I'm saying that is also an attitude. So where could one be coming from? Could he be coming from a family where the blessed only is to be shared by one person? and that they can bring that attitude to the place of work. They are very hardworking, but they cannot work as a team. So that also helps our workers when it comes to attitudes for better working place. Also to learn, can you be able to work as a team? And saying on the lips is not enough. But can this be seen in behavior? That this person can collaborate with others so that they work for a common good of the organization. So let's not allow especially negative attitude to control people. Yeah. And let us not allow, especially when the past is limiting, let us make a choice to free ourselves from it. Let's help individuals realize that. There is also one way of that affects attitude is determinism theory, whereby sometimes, or rather the theory says, sometimes we are determined by cause and effect, and that the future events are predetermined, including our human decisions, which are made up through our choices. And also determinism says that there's nothing like free will. That determinism is the word that I am the way I am because A happened, so equals B. No. Human beings are very good in adapting. Take a human being anywhere, they explore about the environment, they already learn what needs to be done. But we require a lot of education in these areas. Because as I said, the challenge that places or corporates and organizations are going through is that what used to be obvious in the past, it's no longer obvious. You may get people who believe they are the way they are because of their past. Determinism. Yeah. Let individuals be taught they have the ability to make choices. And the choices they make, that also what also determine their outlook on life. Yeah. Yeah. And remember we said attitudes are not inherited. So nobody will tell you that I'm behaving this way because my mother or my grandparents or my great grandfather used to behave this way. The only thing that nowadays we which is not part of attitude anyway, that we bring in is only issues of addiction. Addiction, when individuals comes to us, we ask them, guys or ladies, what do you know about your grandparents? Or is there anybody in your family who is using alcohol excessively as you do? Because it could be coming from their own lineage. Yeah. Again, upbringing. I'm behaving this way because my parents did this to me. It's a good way of hanging on it. Yes. But for how long? How have I done it on my part when I'm handling students? I normally educate them, so you need to educate people. Then I tell them, now you are aware, so you can make life different for yourself. You can now change the attitude. Don't be a slave of what happened in the past about I don't know who. No. I'm behaving this way because so and so did it to me. I'm not working productively because so and so said I'm not hardworking, so I'm just there. No, you can't just be there. You have the ability to make choices. Yeah. And whatever you do, regardless of the environment, will change everything. Action, behavior would be seen, or productivity would be seen. Yeah. Yeah. So
Bado.
I want to debunk the theory of
Hiyo
determinism.
printer iko na shida.
That
Lazima itengenezwe.
even at places of work, our staff need to be
Niweke
aware
sukari.
that they have ability to make choices.
Deborah,
But
sukari iko wapi?
I'm saying
Ama
maybe
niende hapa mbele.
because of the nature of the kind of individuals that are coming to work market, so maybe education is important here. Yeah. Other people's behaviors is affecting attitude. So it is good to accept this as a fact that most of the time, individuals, especially the weak ones, can easily be influenced by people's behavior. Yeah, very common, very common. And especially what we call peer pressure. Peer pressure can affect me, can affect you. Yeah, and nowadays it's very common that individuals can just be thinking of making a habit of partying every Friday. And I'm not saying partying is bad. Maybe what may be challenging is what becomes of you after those unions. So in short, what I'm saying, peer pressure is common to all of us, not just to young people, but us dependent in any stage of history. And these other people's behavior can affect our own attitudes. Maybe somebody who used to have a caring attitude, now they also assume a kind of a don't care attitude because of the people's influence. Yeah. So sometimes negatively, you may have people who are not complaining in the past that you have begun, people who keep on backbiting others or gossiping around, people who they have been told stories. They are always appearing like, or they are having emotional wounds. Yeah. So other people, in short, can affect how an individual is attitude, or how they, or what kind of outlook they will have in life, and how that outlook will affect how they act or behave. So we should not underrate, and the emphasis here is if an individual think is likely to be a negative influence on another people, he better think and stop. However, we are so much inclined at times to want to cause chaos. So, but maybe as a member of the human resource personnel, maybe you need to identify such an individual who want to affect other people's behavior. And because this is work, this is an organization, maybe give him or her a stern warning by letting the person being aware that the attitude you have is not good. And we are afraid if this does not change, you can lose your job. In short, let them weigh about the change of attitude, also, and also the possibility of losing their job. And because we said earlier, attitude is also about change. One can change from a negative one to a positive one. If he values what he does, the job he does, and he also values his source of livelihood, he would weigh to see whether negative influence is equal to what, to his job. Oh, yeah. Is it equal to what you are doing? Are you ready to sacrifice your job because of your attitude? Yeah. because we don't want gossipers. We don't want people speaking behind others. We don't want people who are doing character assassination toward other people, because that can spoil the whole attitude at the place of work. We want people who are alive and living. Yeah. Any concerns about that, or any view about other people's behavior affecting attitude? Sarah, what's your take? Hello, is Sarah Wainaina?
Okay, let me get back to you in a minute. I'm having another caller.
Okay, so can we go to who now? Can we go to Susan?
Frederick,
Yes.
I want to agree with you on the factor that you highlighted that affect work, and I would say what you said, especially on gossips, and this really derails, I would say, productivity or progress at workplace. And if somebody is affected or is talked negatively of, it tends to like get into the mind of this person, and it affects productivity at the end of the day. So these factors are real, and there are things that happen at workplace.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's not like it's happening mbali. It is real.
It's very much with us.
Yes, and we have seen them affecting our work, and these are the things that we are dealing with, especially things that are bringing about a lot of conflict at workplace. And as HR practitioners, this is what we are grappling with, and trying to work on them so that it doesn't bring down productivity at workplace. Yeah,
exactly. And yeah, thank you, Susan. And that's why I said, if you identify an individual who is good at that, let them weigh about their behavior or maintaining their job. A stern warning, because you don't want to keep on struggling with one thing that is affecting productivity, and also, or even the well-being of the person, because after the well-being of one individual is affected or several individuals affected, it affects productivity. Yeah, thank you for that feedback. Yeah. So, negative work environment. Stress at work leads to change in attitude. So we need to identify what is the cause of the stress. And that's where now we as psychologists need to come in to try to address it. If it's very rampant and it's affecting quite a large number of individuals, we need maybe an intervention at the corporate level, because you want your staff wellness. You want a workforce that is alive. You don't want people who are just doodling. You know. Do you remember Jesus and this woman who was a sinner, who was brought to her so that she may be stoned? Jesus didn't have a word to tell her, but just began to write it down with his finger. And we are told everybody left except the woman and Jesus who remained there. In short, what am I trying to say? A place of work is not where individuals should just come and sit. No, it's a place where people come and work. If there is anything that is affecting a great number, the employees, and it's causing a lot of stress. It needs to be identified. Like we need to do a need analysis or need assessment at the place of work. Then we kind of ask what is causing it and how can we diffuse this. Most common one is where we have competition at the place of work. And I would like to sell you this for free. Let individuals, let your staff know that at place of work, they are not competing. They are complementing each other. Complementing each other. It's not, we don't want competition at place of work. We want people to complement each other, because if one individual is even going ahead alone, it's not so good for the organization. So we need people to learn how to work together, but not fighting who is ahead of the other. No, that's not healthy for any organization. Then also the need to appreciate each other or a fellow employee contribution. I know a friend of mine, not actually a friend of mine, my client. One of my clients came, and I have been seeing her, and she is quite wounded because she contributed so greatly at her organization, and there were these jealousies and envies coming to her until she resigned. So as a human resource practitioners, you need to be aware of this. Just maybe you can ask somebody, like in a small meeting with the staff, what would you say about Jane's success? Can we hear it publicly? The word being said is how it is said is important. We need to encourage each other. Then also too much work, not enough help. Okay, we don't want to encourage laziness because individuals have to work. However, can workload also be shared in a way that one person is not having so much on his or her table? Then we are being invited as to help whoever is helping other, that is in charge of other workers, to make sure that they set realistic deadlines, because unrealistic deadlines can cause a lot of much stress. Okay, well, I work in an organization. I work in a university. Yeah, they give us deadlines, which is true. Deadlines have to be given actually, but are they unrealistic? And as human resource personnel, if you see or you hear your employees saying that they were given unrealistic deadline, try also to check whether there is a beef between whoever gave the assignment and the one doing it. Because there can be those small fights or big fights in organization. Need to help that, so that you don't have, if a certain officer is fighting another officer, they will defeat that one, then they also pick another one. So that kind of maybe sometimes punishing another person. You may forgive if I'm using a very hard language. That one can be, you can just, because as a human resource, you are there also to listen to the concerns and well-being of the people. Maybe you can make an intervention. Then longer hours of work. These at times, even the staff can place on themselves. And this is where, again, we also needed to help you people as psychologists. Could these people be going through hell at home or in their families, such that they want to spend so much time at the places of work? That need also to be checked. Yeah, this may not be just goodwill. We are talking about attitude, yes, but what could be happening in their background that make them spend so many hours at the place of work? Or even if it's coming, maybe from the organization, is it a one thing? A one thing can be around, but or is it something always continuous? So it can come from either from the family. It need to be, you need to check, or if it's from the work. And maybe once in a while we can have a lot of work that need to be done. Maybe another organization has given us a deadline. That's okay. That's okay. Then budget constraints, like when there are these cutoffs, I believe due to Corona, I think that was affecting COVID-19 experience was affecting maybe many people's attitude. The staff need to be healthy to know that it's not the organization that is doing this just for the sake of doing it. It's something global and it's affecting even the money coming in. That's why we are having salary cuts so that we stay afloat. Yeah. Then also, when people don't have to manage their time, the staff need to be helped about this time management. Then you also this will also affect how the work is being done. Time management, punctuality, yeah. Then job insecurity. Job insecurity. These also staff can bring on themselves by they are in the right job, that's why they were hired there, but also they can place it on themselves in the sense that they are ever looking for places. This idea that I want to look for greener pastures. Then in the process, they are not happy at work, they're not getting fulfillment at the places of work, hence lacking meaning. Then they begin having what we call job insecurity, because in the first place, they are not performing. And that now can begin affecting their attitude. Yeah. So, and last on that, before we have a small break again, are you lost? So negative worldview. Yeah. How do we, it has always been said, if you want we have drought, if you want cows to eat grass, if it was possible, we are just overstretching our imagination. You can put in or on them green goggles. Then those green goggles would work magic, because they would see all the grass around them green, and they go ahead and eat it. So what am I trying to say here? Negative worldview can totally destroy attitude, especially plant about negative attitude. So let individuals be helped to evaluate how they look at their places of work. Yeah. If you look at the place, if the staff look at the places of work as places that they are not good for them, even when they are doing work or they are carrying out their duties, they will be doing them lazily. Yeah, because of the worldview they have. So let's try maybe to help the staff work on what worldview they have, and eventually they can be asked. And if they asked, I know you have done a few counseling skills, yeah, whereby like they can tell you, oh, my worldview is very positive, but you can tell them, well, it's true, you are saying it's very positive, but this is what I have observed in you. It's like it's lunch, we are coming back for lunch, and it's like you are spending so much time before you come back from lunch. Could that be saying something about you? Maybe nobody has ever helped them see that, but now you are helping. Is this somebody with a positive worldview about our organization? If you can spend more 2 hours and there was no emergency coming back to your place of work. Anyway, yeah, so can we have like 5 minutes break, then come back? Is that, have we agreed on that?
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. Let's have 5 minutes, then come back. So can we move on? So we've talked about environment. I mentioned the home. And the home or the family where we are coming from every morning can also affect individuals' attitude. But I said earlier in the beginning, what individuals need is be aware of what is happening. Because only when they are being aware, they can be able to control that. Or rather, they won't allow it to spill over their places of work. When they are not aware, that's when you see the experiences from the family level spilling over in terms of how the individual is thinking, in terms of how they are feeling, and in terms of how they are behaving, which we call the attitude. Yeah. So we have also mentioned earlier that to strengthen the attitude, it's good we appreciate other than showing a lack of appreciation. And appreciation here can also come to you. We are human beings. You are a human being. You also need a pat on your shoulder. When let your staff also know where you have also done well. They also appreciate and they tell you bravo for what you've done, madam or sir, so and so. The same thing also applies to them. It's not only them who need to be given to be given appreciation because they have done. Even you as bosses, as HR practitioners, you also need to be told you did so well, madam so and so, because we also need to feel good about ourselves. Yeah. Also failures, let people know that failure is part and parcel of life. Failure is not the person. Those individuals have names. They have Mwangi, John, Atieno. They are not failure. Can they be held not to give themselves labels of failures? They have names because failing is part and parcel of life. Yeah. Then also issues regarding promotion, or even salary rise. Yeah, let that also be attended. Yeah. So, and also let also others at the place of work get involved in boosting each other's attitude and morals. Yeah. So, home, work, others can really affect our own attitude. So let them be used positively. Yeah. So how can we foster positive attitude? One, the way you think is important. The way you think is very, very important. The way you feel about yourself is very, very important. And also the prior attitudes and beliefs that you have, or the prior values and beliefs that you have are important to fostering positive attitude. Can the attitude be changed? Yes, attitude can be changed. Yeah. How? By focusing on self. Focusing on self is very, very, very important. How do you want to be today? Do you want to be the energetic person? Do you want to be seen as a person who is caring? Do you want to be seen as somebody who is important? Somebody who is creative? It's a choice. How does this person want to be seen? And we suggest some practical ways of maybe having some either imaginary or something written. We are living in a world of writing. You can write something, a sort of a paper or a card on how you want your day to be. Do you want to be the angry person? Do you want to be seen as somebody who is not interested on anything? Do you want to be somebody who is bitter? Do you want to be somebody who is cynical? Yeah. How does this individual want to be? So they can change. How do we change around our attitude? So it is important to learn how to balance our attitude with the factors that determine our attitude, workload, the career. And you said you're already in the right job, that's why you are there. The individual need to be helped. Stresses come, but how do we handle stress? Time, health, finances, family, people. How do we balance all this? How do we balance all this? And and I'm repeating it, if like you find there are a lot of challenges, you can inquire about our services to come and maybe help. Especially, I said earlier in the beginning, my concern is also to see how individuals nowadays are balancing work and family. Because when they are not balancing well, that's why we are having challenges of addiction at places of work. People trying to cope with the work of family using alcohol or anything else or any other drug. Yeah. Can attitude be changed? Yes. How? Accept the right position. Accept where you are. I normally tell when I'm engaging people in seminars and workshops, I tell them, people rise slowly. You go up slowly. Nobody shoots from the ground to the sky. People keep gentle, it's gentle rising. So let individuals accept where they are at the places of work. Also, choose to be social. When you are social, you attract other people. When you are not social, you don't attract anyone. And also, let people learn the importance of talking with each other, communicating. Even when they have challenges, let them talk to each other. Let them reach out to let them be aware that the human resource practitioner is there for them. Yeah. My other question is, whereby maybe you can benefit from our services. Who do human resource practitioner go to? And I have been suggesting what we call clinical supervision for people in managerial positions, whereby they come and they vent out also what they are going through as a way of also healing, because they are just receiving. My question is, who do they go to? I offer those services too. So be positive. Positivity, you talked a lot about it. Then, if one is wrong, let them admit they did wrong. This is what we call taking possibility. And that those 5 positions can take staff a long way to learn how to change and have the right attitudes. How to change your behavior? Behavior is what is observable, is the action. As an example of behavior is How does this person work? Are they reaching at their desk and the first thing they are doing is reading the newspaper? That's behavior. That's observable. Yet there is work to be done. A newspaper can be read during tea times or small breaks. Yeah. And change is evidence. When change takes place, anybody can see. How did this happen? It is through honest personal assessment. This is me. What is being said about me, it's true. Just accept it. Accepting is not that you are a failure, you are useless. No, you are just a good person. Then also determination to change, and also discipline, or what we call self-control. Yeah, we require discipline in everything. Yeah. How to change? Choose your behavior. We said behavior is a choice. Yeah. Yeah. Other than being reactive, can individuals be taught to be proactive and also be patient with themselves also? That not everything that happens requires your response. Yeah. And even if you are to respond, how will you go about maybe responding? We require a choice here. What choice do you make in response to A or B? If somebody shouts at you, do you enter into a shouting match? Another individuals, again, for a positive attitude, people need to be, or rather staff need to be helped to realize that if you take a low profile or you are humble, humility, you take a humility stance or opposition. If somebody shouts at you and you are just silent, that does not mean you are a loser or you are stupid. No, it just means you are in charge of yourself. You are in self-control of yourself. Yeah. And again, you are emotionally stable. You are not being worked out. Or rather, how your environment is going to be is not being dependent on the stimulus or what maybe somebody has shouted at you. Yeah. So it takes choice. And also I added the virtue of humility. Yeah. So how do you go about having a positive attitude? Change your thinking. What does thinking have? It has systems of beliefs. It has beliefs. It has the past. It has what underlies certain feelings. So can your thinking change? And what is an individual staff thinking changing to? Responding to the environment. Are they, by thinking, are they ready to open up their mind and be ready to learn new things that would impress positively in them? Yeah. So you have to observe and come out with a proper assessment of the situation. Again, we are going back to the previous slide. Not everything requires your response. Sometimes even silence is important. How do we do, again, how do we change our thinking? Let's track the way we are thinking, observe your thinking. Yeah. Be aware of what you are thinking. Yeah. Be aware, be in touch with what you are thinking. Then what can be done to diffuse this? Yeah, can we one way of diffusing is saying, wow, what has just happened to me is quite interesting. Yes, it may be bad, but it is quite interesting. Maybe you have learned, or part of the interesting thing, you have learned that individuals can behave in a surprising way, the way you never expected. It's interesting, that's very true. You are trying to diffuse the tension and the thoughts in your mind. Then you can also say to yourself, I won't let this stop me. And also, this is not forever. I'm hopeful that tomorrow will be better. Yeah. In addition to that is maybe tomorrow, if an individual never felt good about it, now that hours have passed, can she or he be able to express that to the person who offended? Because also you don't want individuals to be ready to go with you so much all the time. They're the one who can also poison the environment and surroundings. So the individual need to be empowered to question this guy. Well, I want us to talk about 1, 2, 3. Do you remember what you did yesterday to me? I didn't feel good about that, but it's my hope that maybe tomorrow you do things differently. And maybe that can bring about, the guy can come in, or the lady can come into his senses and maybe make an apology. Yeah. Yeah. So also manage your self-talk. What do you think it's not you? Let's assume a guy is, or a lady is considering themselves very stupid. That's not them. That's not them. They are different. That's not them. Yeah. So self-talk. Yeah. Self-talk. What do you say about yourself? Are you saying I'm going to have a dull day? Are you saying that I'm going to have a good day? Can an individual be able to impress on that which is going to make them better? Yeah. Tips to build positive attitude. We are living, individuals have said that Africa, we are not scholars, some scholars, maybe some with the biases, have said that Africa, we are not a leading culture. We are more of a viewing culture. We like seeing. We also like listening. So for those who can lead, I encourage them to lead. For those who are not able to lead, I encourage to utilize modern technologies like listening to podcasts. There are very nice things are said about positive thinking, so that they can build positive attitude. Also doing exercises. I will come to wake up early later. Exercises are important. What does exercises do? Physical exercises, and they don't have to be rigorous exercises. Even a walk is important. Maybe stretching your hands, stretching your legs, breathing in and out. Our body is a system. It helps relaxes the body when you do exercises. Then also, we are living in a world of order. Can individuals also be helped to learn how to plan? Like, what would this member of your organization do when they come to the office in the morning? Or within the week, what's their plan? Because what affects attitudes again is when people are procrastinating so much, then they begin thinking negatively about themselves. Then that affects the possibility of positive attitude. Then failures is part and parcel. Like I said earlier, failure is not the name of the individual staff. That person has a name. Can this staff member be helped to know that they have a name? They are not a failure. Anybody can make a mistake. Can they accept that? Yeah, not to bash themselves so hard. Can they accept that? Well, besides this single failure, you have in the past you have always done very well, and that boosts their positive attitude, or rather helps to build positive attitude. And also nowadays we are encouraging people to do what we call gratitude. There is what we call a gratitude box. Can you learn how to be grateful? I normally tell my clients, for this first 1 week, I want you to pick one single thing that you are grateful about. Then the second week, I ask you, can you pick another one thing that you are grateful about? Then the third week, then can we continue for a while with you pick 3 things, and you will be reporting to me every session you meet me, 3 things that you are grateful about. When people are able to identify things that are grateful about, they begin thinking positively about themselves. Yeah, it works magic. Yeah, or it's very little. Yeah. Then also have positive people around you. Okay, unfortunately, sometimes we may have 1 or 2 people at our places of work that are very negative, but also they need to be helped so that they become positive. But it's always good in the team, even among themselves, they can be helped. They don't need the HR practitioner to come in. They also be taught when somebody is very negative, can they be able to do peer challenging? Joyce, can you, or Tom, can you try to be positive, please, so that we move together? Yeah. Then about waking up early. It arouses you, or it arouses an individual to set pace for the day. At least you wake up, you groom yourself, because I know we all have a religion. Maybe you have some little time to pray, say a prayer. You don't have to say wrong prayers. Maybe if you are a Christian, one Our Father is enough. And I believe also Muslims, they have their own prayers. You don't have to say so many prayers, just a single prayer. You can have a prayer. So that makes your day starts well. Then you can also have what you can breathe in and breathe out, breathe in and breathe out. Then embrace the day as it comes. And then you have opened yourself to a brighter day. That makes fills you with a lot of positivities. Yeah. Any addition on that? Tips to build positive attitude? Hannah Ari.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have any addition of the tips? Or what, do you have a different trick?
No, these are very elaborative, and they're good things to think about. Yeah. And some of them I wasn't really thinking about, like focusing on failures, and it's not a bad thing. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Yeah. What does failure mean? Thank you for bringing that again. What does failure mean? Failure means we are human beings. Human beings can make mistakes. It's only that the way we are socialized, We are socialized that making mistake is very bad. It's not true. Don't we say we run through mistakes or we run through experimenting? In the process of experimenting, provided you are experimenting in the right way, you can meet with a lot of mistakes. Is it Abraham Lincoln? They said he failed so many times. He tried so much or so often to become the president of the United States of America until that day came and he became. So failure does not mean you are a bad. It does not touch on the individual person. Individual human beings are good. Yeah, we need to, that need to be very, very much strong in us. And again, I remember I said, the individual has a name. His name is not failure. He is Fred, he is Tom, he is Amisi, he is Juma, he is Kip Korir. Yeah, they have names. What am I trying to say this when I say they have names? There is what we call narrative therapy. Sometimes people become what they have done. That the narrative they are talking about themselves, or the story they are talking about themselves, that's they, which is not true. We need to separate the individual and the story. Yeah.
Frederick.
Yes.
And I'm looking at what you said on boosting the social connections at workplace, trying to be a social being at workplace. And I'm also looking at it from the perspective that as we socialize at workplace, we also be cognizant of these individuals who are, I would say, for lack of a better word, toxic yes. individuals at workplace, whose, I would say, sole business is just to paint this picture that this organization is not a good organization, this work is not good, trying to, feel
on the environment around.
Exactly. So as we socialize, we need to be wary of that, so that we socialize with the right people, so that we try to create that healthy environment at workplace. Yeah, that's I'm looking at it that way.
Susan, that's very true, and that's why I said sometimes back. If you remember, if there is this individual is very toxic, he needed to be warned. You people have processes. He needed to be warned, because we said toxicity, which is negative attitude, is infectious. We don't want this individual, he infect one person today, another one, then you are handling from nowhere. Why is it becoming so tense at the place of work? There is this individual who is telling them that this place is not good, at he knows of where they are running so much, and he is not going there. So he need a warning letter. That's my take. Because you need a thriving, flourishing work environment. He needed to weigh the two, either to keep his job or to continue with the toxicity. Another thing about socialization, I think you want people here well. People should be careful not to have sexual relationships at work. Especially these are the people who are not married. Having this relationship at work as part of socialization is not good, because you realize there are people who are, for lack of a better word, who have challenges with their sexuality. You find they're with this one, then tomorrow, before you know, they're with another person. Then before long, there is a lot of sexual interaction that is so much. That's that it's affecting how people are working, because when it comes to sexual issues, people are jealous. You hear, Fred was with this one. Again, before you say that Fred is my good friend, then you hear another lady has said, then it's becoming so enmeshed, such that it affects the environment of work. That's another thing that we need also to put limitations to socialization at places of work for better attitudes. Yeah, thank you, Susan. So then we need to, as we work with the staff, then we need to conclude this idea, with this idea about building positive attitude. And I had said earlier about Albert Einstein, who said that what is madness or insanity is doing the same thing the same way, expecting different results. So individuals with a negative attitude, they need to be held to realize now it's the time that they need to change from this. They need to change the way they think so that they can have good feelings and also transforming to good behavior. Yeah. So individuals have always that 3 ways to change, not unless people become to what we call addiction to their way of thinking. But for how long, if people are stubbornly sticking to the way they think, for how long will the organization keep them? So sometimes there comes a time when a decision has to be made. Yeah. So we don't want to get the individual before he tries or she tries. So we are saying this is the time, help individuals to understand that this is the time to get rid of negative thoughts and behavior so that the whole organization can move together, having a happy, successful place where everybody wants to be part of that environment. Yeah, and that is quite important. And the question you're asking then, why do individuals not begin today? It's never too late. Earlier on, we said individuals can always adapt, and adaptation is positive. They can adjust to the environment. And that's the beautiful things about human beings. So let even people who think so much negative, they can be helped to change. And if they cannot change, another thing that you can suggest for is counseling. What is it that is making them appear as though they are addicted to their way of thinking? Could it have to do with the family? Can they be helped to work that through counseling? Yeah. Counseling is available to help such individuals see things differently. Yeah. And it's like with that, we are coming to our end, maybe of our presentation. And maybe I can leave time for some interaction regarding what I have just had with you. So all questions are welcome. Yeah. Yeah, chat. Oh, no. So any concern, any question that we need to look into? So if there is no, I say something about myself sometimes back that as an individual with some few groups, with the individual and the and myself, we do offer counseling, and our concern is also for corporate. We have a concern for corporate because we want better environment for works, and also we care about the wellness of your staff. And we are in addiction, counseling and chemical dependency. And me personally, another area that I have majored in is marriage and family. And this can also spill over in other fields, like I care about so much the affect, that's the emotions, feelings, and moods, and also in the areas of communication, because individuals are facing a lot of challenges is in the area of communication, and how that has been affecting some sense of psychological well-being. Also addiction, like I support especially individuals who have left treatment centers or rehabilitation centers. We work with them so that we can help them further explore about what is it that has been making them to go and use alcohol or drugs. So we give aftercare support or after rehabilitation support so that individuals can continue to be effective to organizations and also to their families. Yeah, because you may have this good stuff and the only challenge they are struggling with is their addictions. So we support that so that we reduce some sense of relapse, or relapse is going back to drinking again. Yeah. So that's an area. Then I mentioned to you about, we also like, within the area of addiction, we like to sensitize also the corporates, maybe through meetings or a webinar like this one to sensitize people about the dangers of addiction. In short, we are trying to do what we call preventive counseling to ensure that many people identify or they are aware when they are going down towards addiction. Then I mentioned in passing when I was delivering my webinar that we are thinking about the people in high level management, like the HRs or other managers or people in those higher positions. When they are stressed, when they are going through challenges, who do they talk to? So we have that package for the people in the corporate. Yeah, like whom can they come to share? Maybe their pains, their discouragements, the pressures of work. We have such package, and we place it under what we call clinical supervision. Yeah, everybody needs to vent because it's like maybe all the challenge. We are taking care of everybody else, including the organization, but who take care of your own wellness? That's also been my concern as a counseling psychologist. Yeah. Any question? Any concern?
Yeah, I have a concern. This is Sarah. Hello, Frederick, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sarah.
Yeah, okay. You have shared with us your level of area of expertise. That just in case one would like to get in touch with you, how can we get in touch with you?
You can take my contact.
Yes, please.
My contact is 0700 414 606.
Yes. You're welcome.
Right, thank you.
Are you by any chance a hustler?
Any other concern?
Yes. If I said you M-Pesa, it will be then.
Your parents are not that example. Calling you then.
So
I thought it would be a short
I have a
one.
class going on here.
So I have put my number on the screen, on the chat box here. Any other concern about what we have just talked about, building positive attitude and creating better working environments? Actually, positivity is what we really need. Nobody wants somebody who is toxic. And actually, yeah, we are there to listen to negative stories, but we don't want it toxic. That's right. Yeah.
Oh man, God bless you.
Otherwise, I would say I appreciate a lot being here with you, and also for
Okay, pay 49.
unveiling time.
Pay 45.
I cannot take it for granted.
Pay 49.
Yeah, so I really appreciate. I thank Dan for giving me this opportunity, and I look forward to more
You see how that
interaction. Where I am or function from when it comes to handling clients, I work from Westerns. That's where I am. Yeah, for any further information, you can reach out through the contact that I have given. Yeah.
Who's trying to terrorize you?
So, is it over now, or do you?
Hi.
You have a class going.
Father
Yeah.
Fred.
Yes.
Yes. Now I think we can call it a day, and I want to thank our participants very well and very much for having found time to participate in today's event. You have actually covered, you've done the topic justice, and I look forward to working with you in many more projects.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate a lot. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and God bless you abundantly.
Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Asante sana. Asante
Karibu.
sana.
Bye bye. Thank you.